Some of you have discovered that it's difficult for you to keep from going to light. See, for a while you figure out how to get this, and after you get it, you trying to figure out how to stay here. That's a nice place to be. You'll feel this pressure and necessity to release to the crown associations, and this may very well require that you be alone. And you come to the Wisconsin woods, or there'll be a place here in this association. The Denver Association is very beautiful, and it's a facsimile of the acupuncture points of the world that are being provided for this energy sources. Those of you that would like to come back and be alone are welcome to come into that. These centers now, with this new commitment, are going to be formed around the world. They will be places where you can come and be recognized as whole. Not in secret, but in a protective association of the necessity for the bodily transformation. Yes. You'll discover your brothers all over the world will hear this. Many of them have never done the Course in Miracles and have never heard of it. Obviously, that's not the requirement. Okay. All those who labor in the vineyard get exactly the pay that they demand, don't they? The lovely parable of you making a deal to work in the vineyard, and you've paid your dues over a period of 1,000 years, and suddenly a consciousness comes and works for 2 days, and he gets exactly the same pay you do. And you got what you bargained for. Be happy. I told you yesterday that in later frameworks of reality, the moment that we come with this, everybody springs and is gone. Okay. Because this is truth or God speaking to you in the chaos. Oh, my name is McNamara. I got Irish things in my head. In this new freedom of mind, you'll discover that you associate with all sorts of thought forms around you, and you become very creative in what you do because you have the freedom of expression. That's a nice thing to have happen to you. So the new you emerges. It was you that you were looking for all the time. This is a course, and was only a course in knowing yourself. Thanks for coming and saving me. Thank you for coming here now, being the way and the light for me, so that I could come to know this. Through you I am redeemed in the certainty of our love and what we are, together in the grace of our Father and the truth of us. There is no possibility that this could have been accomplished without you. And I mean you. I don't mean someone else. I mean you. Because this was accomplished, and you did accomplish it. I would remind you of that now, for you have dismembered it. You have forgotten of it. But you cannot not make it true. You are the Savior. You taught me this. I am reteaching you this. A lot of you guys I know from the Master's Academy, as you know. Some of you taught me. Now I find you in configurations of your limited associations back in time. But we know each other perfectly well. It's my chance to get even with you. I think some of you flunked me in communication or something. Yeah. But we know each other very well. We are a part of a saviorship group. I know this is in the course, but I'm telling you why. Reality doesn't know about this at all. It's only a half kooky mind that would even do this. In the course, Jesus says there's very few consciousnesses that want to hang around this place. How could you stand it? So this is sort of the bottom of the class that gets this assignment. That's okay. All things are possible. Everything is true by the possibility of it. Okay. When I speak to you of the Academy, I mean in reality. This is not an allegory. This is the true statement of what we are doing. There is a ready room where the course was prepared. There's a big map that shows us the dedication of the mind coming to its truth. It lights up on a board, and we dispatch teams to bring about atonement or enlightenment. And it's not based on obviously on your conceptual associations, but the release of your perceptual associations through your inability to deal with the chaotic. In other words, the harmony begins to occur and you ask for help. You understand that you asked for help here? Okay. Well, we heard you. But it had nothing to do with the problem you had. We already know your problem is total. You needed to know that to ask for help. When you asked for total help, you got it totally. So this is a group of fervent prayers. Somewhere you said, I can't do this anymore. I positively guarantee you that's how we heard you. Not only that, but most of you remember when you asked for it. And you also remember getting some relief at that time. Okay, now you're asking for total relief and you're going to get that. You thought you had it right and you were wrong. Okay? Isn't that funny? It had nothing to do with the problem you were in. Okay? All you really had to do was surrender. That's really what I'm teaching. As we said, what is the communicative device with God? Prayer. What's the only real prayer? Help. What's the what's the same as that? Thank you. Of course, those are the two things. Help and thank you. I always end up giving the same talk. I give it over and over and over again. I just keep telling you this is how you got it. We heard you. You called and we heard you. There's a way station that's waiting for you to beam up to. It's not heaven, but it's the place that you go to for your final processing. Do you understand me? This is Valhalla, what you call Jerusalem. This is what you call the borderland. Okay? Sure. You come into that association and you take one final glance and you're gone. It's lovely. That's what true perception is. That's what you're coming to. Literally. Well, we're glad you're here coming into this now. You look beautiful. In a few moments we're going to have another quiet time. Obviously, you guys are in contact now with reality here. You use the auspices of this light to bring about the continuing contagion. This is very catching. Literally. And if you associate with this new light energy, you will become that. Okay, that's called divine order in these, what Jesus says. You must see that in order to undergo this process. Do not be deluded by the perceptual consciousnesses that tell you they can find this in their limited association. I'm afraid that's what you're going to have to look at. Look at it. This is the certainty that you must love them, of course, in that identification, but this is the transformative process. Don't be afraid. You are the way and the light. Without you, there is no salvation. Without you, the world is condemned to sickness, pain, and death. Listen to me. Without you, there is no heaven. Without you, there is no God. Listen. We are that consciousness together. These are columns of light being demonstrated by the consciousnesses who have opened. This veil has parted. This is a literal parting. And the experience that you're having is the revealing of what Master Jesus calls the great rays. Since you are nothing but an energy package, a light refraction of consciousness, you're coming into that reassociation. That's the occurrence of it. You're losing your perceptual association. That's very nice to see that happen. This is very deep for you to do that. You appear on the map of consciousness as a bright light that flashes. Okay? And then we watch that spread, and all assistance that there is comes in to give you the direction of that. Why? And ideas never leave the source. Everything is all right here. It's just like you're popping out of it, aren't you? Much as when you came out of the womb, when you were born into this. Very much the same. You have these birth pangs going on. But you can't go home again. You can't go back into the womb. There's some lovely parts of the Course where Jesus describes it. He says, don't try to go back. You keep trying to reassociate with some sort of happy home. You can't. You can't remember heaven, so you try to remember a garden where everything was okay, but it wasn't okay. You got yourself separated. Come on home. Be wrong just once, all right? Never mind the fact that you are wrong. You need to admit that you're wrong. It has nothing to do with sin. It has to do with just the fact that you're wrong.